guys, welcome back to Jeep and TV. Today we're going to be doing a long-awaited video over the winch installation for the Radius and Radius Pre-Runner Edition bumper from Avid. We're going to use the factory bracket from them for the bumper, and we're going to have to severely trim this, but it's going to fit right in front of the airbox. And if you have the Valkyrie light headlight adapters for all JK lights, it will work a lot smoother. But if you actually still have the factory lights, as I have here to demonstrate, or any other aftermarket ones, which are full-size housings, such as the Op 7 Outlaw X editions, like I have previous video shown, they will require a lot more trimming along this bracket as well, which I will go into detail in the video on how to do. No further ado, we're going to start taking this thing apart, and I'm going to show you exactly how to get this done. Alright guys, so the first step to installing the winch is, you already got the bumper on, you got to take it off. If not, you can do this while you're installing the bumper. So we've got all the bolts removed. Pull this out of the way. As you can see, we've been through a lot already. To make this a lot easier, you don't have to, but you can remove this front portion, but the head unit should be off the winch. And you're gonna literally just kind of slide it in there, and there's gonna be the 4 bolts you'll see, and you'll put those all in, because every winch is gonna be a little bit different, from Badlands to Smittybilt to Warren. They're all still gonna have the 4 nuts and bolts. And for the cables, I'll show you, we're gonna hook those up to the winch, which is gonna be different from winch to winch. But on the Smittybilts, it's all color coded. On my Warren personally, it was already all done for you. And for Badlands, well, I just couldn't tell you. But they're cheap, so I'm probably imagining you're gonna have to do all the work yourself. So we're gonna come over here, and I'm gonna show you how to run the cables up into the Renegade and where to run them up for the box. Okay guys, so when it comes to wiring in this winch, this is the Smittybilt XRC edition. So what you're gonna do is, when you come down, you'll see all the wires right here. And you can see my hand coming up into here, right here. So this is the hole that it's gonna come into. It comes just basically on the side. If you come down here real quick, you'll see all the wires come up along the side of this and up into the engine bay right here. So when we come back up here, you can see that we have everything all connected, and it's connected to the box. That's your main goal. See, all the wires connected to the main box and lay them off to the side at first. And we're going to be doing this with the Valkyrie headlight adapters initially, just to show you. And right here, so I have the plate that comes with the Avid bumper, and we cut it right here to cut this arm off because we don't need it no more. And we actually just mounted it using this one hole onto the bottom corner of the Valkyrie headlight adapters. Okay, and I'll show you that here in just a second. And doing that, we had drilled some holes here to mount the head unit of the winch onto here, and we used just the bolts from the head winch and everything. It all fit, and everything fits really securely when you tighten it down. There's not enough weight to actually cause this to move. Okay, so from here, if you come down here, you can see the grounding wire we had ran along the top of the radiator housing and fan housing all the way over to the grounding. Now, you could have done that differently if you wanted to. You could have went down along inside where the winch is, like we did on the original Daystar bumper, but we decided to take this route because it's just a lot easier in general. And for the power, you're gonna do essentially the same thing. The power came up along the backside. Right now we have it pulled out so you can see it, but we're gonna run it along the backside in here under this cowl cover, and it's gonna come out on the other side and hook up to the power. Okay, you can tuck it between the engine and the air hosing for the engine, but it could get a little hot in there. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. It's probably better to put it under the cowl covering. Okay, so when it comes to, let's say you don't have the Valkyrie headlight adapters, which is awesome mod, by the way, I got a video for that down below. You have the factory ones, where if you have the HID or the standard housing like I have here, they're going to be the exact same size, and you're going to be like, how are we going to fit that in there? Well, here's the thing. When this is installed, if you look down here, you can see the brackets. This sits parallel to the bracket housings, okay? And on these right here, you can see the mounting points here and here, which this is the mounting point we're mounting to down in the hole, is pretty flush with the headlight overall, for the most part. The only thing you're going to run into is this side piece right here will intrude in the way. So if you cut this off, okay, and just modify this bracket just a little bit, you should be able to still mount your winch box to this location and have a functioning winch, okay? With that all being said, this is all going to be trial and error. I know 100% that this will work with the Valkyrie headlight adapters. Now, if you go with the factory ones because you don't want to upgrade to, let's say, a JK style light, then they're going to need a little bit more modification, but there's nothing saying that it cannot be mounted in the same location. This is going to be your best location because it's got the most open area. You're not over the motor. I don't recommend putting anything over the motor because you're getting direct heat rises. And this is off to the side, so it's a little bit more protected. There's nowhere room behind the airbox. There's no room really above the battery. You could do it, but a lot of people I know put S-pods there. So if you do that and you want to do like an S-pod or any other type of relay switch for aftermarket lights, such as the license plate bracket or light bar mounts or any of that kind of stuff, you can't do that anywhere else then because there's no engine bay room. So your best bet is to modify the bracket to fit right here into this little housing area. And like I said, you run the power around from the backside and you'll run the neutral over the radiator fan. It looks okay. I do it a little bit different personally, but this is just what we've done as a temporary right now. And like I said, you take the header unit off and you literally slide the winch in. You don't even have to take this part off if you don't want to. And this is only if you have this bumper, okay? If you have the contour bumper, it's a little bit more different, okay? But the contour bumper cannot fit a winch this big, okay? So this is gonna be able to hold up to a 12,000 pound winch and anything below, as long as the head unit can come off. And almost all Warns, all Smitty builds, and I wanna say all Badlands, the head units can and will be able to remove. All right, so we're gonna put this bumper back together again, and we're gonna just pull out the winch and we're gonna show the functionality of it and how it works and how to properly, safely use the winch and everything. So we're gonna get back to that and we'll get back to the wiring here in just a second. Wow, that was fast, guys. So, if only it was actually that fast in real life, I wish. So, we're gonna hook this up to the header box, and we're gonna suck this winch back in. So, one thing to remember when you're doing this is you're gonna want to have it going back and forth along the reel where it doesn't cause any binding issues, because if it binds up, it can cause damage to the fibers on the synthetic and also on the cables as well. So we're gonna go ahead and suck this in real quick. And boom, you got a winch installed. Okay, so this is overall a fairly easy installation to do. And look at this, magnetic. So this is overall a fairly easy installation to do. It shouldn't really take you probably a good hour. And I know there's some parts that we had skipped because it was really the easy stuff, such as putting the winch inside the bumper is super easy to do. Like, you literally just slide it in there, put your nuts in, and put your screws in. It can't get any more easy than that. But if you have any questions over the installation, leave a comment down below. Message us on Facebook at JeepinTV for Facebook, and on Instagram at Jeepin_TV, and we will answer them at the best of our abilities. And if a phone call is required to explain it even more depth, we can do that over Facebook Messenger. But yeah, this is a super easy install. Tools required, honestly, I'd say just the basics that you need for the bumper, and then, you know, a drill and a grinder or a Dremel tool, and that's to trim off the metal pieces that come from the bracket as well. This is not where the bracket's supposed to go by any means, but I can't figure out where it goes from Avid's terms, and I can't get anything from Avid. So this is what me and my buddy have come up with, and quite frankly, it works. It's super easy, and with the hood being up, it gives you a protection. So when you're winching, you want the hood up, because if that cable snaps, I'd rather go through the hood than through your windshield, because the hood's not really cheaper, but it saves your life. And that's the real important thing when it comes to winching, is always use safety. And we'll do a video over winch safety as well, demonstrating how to do it the proper way and what to do and what not to do. And when it comes to caring for the winch, so being that this winch is fully enclosed and all the sunlight that's getting through is from the words Avid, there's not going to be much sun wear from this as well. Being the synthetic, that's a lot of causes of them breaking down is sun. And you should always replace your winch cables about every 2, maybe 3 years, but 2 is a better bet to be safe. And there are clean materials for synthetic ropes and steel ropes as well. But if you take care of your winch, it's going to take care of you when the time actually matters. So with that being said, like and subscribe, drop comments down below if you have them, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed.